There's a quiet moment that comes more often now. You're sitting still. Nothing is wrong. And yet your mind drifts forward, not far, just ahead, to tomorrow, to next year, to a time you didn't used to think about so much. It's not panic. It's not fear in the dramatic sense. It's more like a gentle tightening in the chest, a subtle awareness that the future feels heavier than it once did. You may notice it when the house is quiet, or when you hear news that wouldn't have bothered you years ago, or when someone younger talks easily about long-term plans as if time is endless and forgiving. And you wonder without saying it out loud why your thoughts seem to lean forward now, why the future feels closer, why uncertainty feels louder than it used to. There was a time when looking ahead felt exciting, even stressful futures still felt manageable, because you believed there was plenty of time to adjust, to recover, to start again if needed. Now the future feels different, not necessarily darker, just more real. You may catch yourself thinking about things you once assumed would take care of themselves, how long savings will last, whether your body will cooperate the way it used to, how independent you'll be in 5 or 10 years, who will be around, who might not be. These thoughts don't always arrive with words. Sometimes they arrive as a feeling, a pause, a sigh you didn't plan to take. And you might wonder why this is happening now, why after a lifetime of handling responsibilities, the future suddenly feels less predictable. You've been through hard times before. You've raised families, solved problems, adapted again and again. You've survived uncertainty that was far more intense than this. So why does this quiet worry feel different? Part of it is that the future used to feel abstract, something you could shape with effort and time. Time was the silent partner you never questioned. Now time feels more visible, not as an enemy, just as a presence. When you're younger, the future is a wide road. Mistakes feel temporary. Changes feel reversible. There's comfort in knowing you can always pivot later. As you grow older, the road doesn't disappear, but it narrows. Not impossibility, but impatience. You become more aware that choices carry weight, that energy is precious, that recovery takes longer, and that awareness, even when it's calm, can feel like worry. Another reason is that many of the structures that once gave certainty have changed. Work schedules, paychecks, clear milestones, external validation. Retirement, even when planned and welcome, removes a rhythm you lived with for decades. Without that structure, the mind looks for new ways to stay alert. Sometimes it does that by scanning the future for potential problems, not because something is wrong, but because your mind is trying to protect you. You may also notice that worry now feels more personal. It's no longer just about goals. It's about well-being, comfort, dignity. You care less about impressing others and more about maintaining stability, and that shift makes uncertainty feel more intimate. There's also the reality that you've seen more endings. Friends retire, friends move away, friends pass on. You've watched plans change unexpectedly, health shift suddenly, life take turns no one predicted. That experience doesn't make you pessimistic, it makes you realistic. And realism, when mixed with care, can feel like worry. You might ask yourself questions you never used to ask. Will I be okay if things change? Will I have enough support? Will I still feel useful? Will I still feel like myself? These questions don't come from weakness, they come from awareness. And awareness increases with age, not decreases. At some point, many seniors notice they're no longer worried about big dramatic futures. They're worried about small, everyday continuity, being comfortable in their own home, waking up without pain, having someone to talk to, feeling safe enough to relax. That's not anxiety. That's wisdom learning to speak. The shift often happens quietly. There's no single moment where you say, now I worry more. It just becomes part of the background, like a radio playing softly in another room. And because it's quiet, you might not talk about it. You might think others have it figured out better than you. You might assume you're alone in feeling this way. You're not. Many seniors carry these thoughts silently, believing they should be grateful, strong, content. And often they are all of those things. But gratitude doesn't cancel concern. Strength doesn't erase questions. Contentment doesn't mean the future stops mattering. At some point, there's a gentle shift that begins to happen. You start to realize that worrying more isn't about losing confidence, it's about caring differently. You no longer worry because you want to conquer the future. You worry because you want to live peacefully within it. This is where understanding changes everything. The future feels heavier now not because it's more dangerous, but because it feels closer to your real life. It's no longer an idea. It's connected to your daily comfort. And once you see that, something softens. You begin to notice that many of your worries are not predictions. They're signals. Signals that you value stability, that you want simplicity, that you want to feel prepared without being overwhelmed. Your mind isn't trying to scare you. It's trying to help you slow down. and pay attention. When worry shows up now, it often means something deserves care. Rest, conversation, adjustment, not drastic change, not pressure, just attention. You may find that when you sit with the feeling instead of pushing it away, it becomes less sharp. It turns into clarity. You start to understand what truly matters to you now, not what mattered 20 years ago. Now, peace matters more than progress. Comfort matters more than comparison. Meaning matters more than momentum. And when you align with that truth, the future begins to feel less like a threat and more like a continuation. You also begin to realize that you are not starting from zero. You're standing on decades of experience. You've adapted more times than you can count. You've survived uncertainty before, even when you didn't feel ready. That history matters. The future doesn't require you to be fearless. It only asks that you remain present and kind to yourself. Many seniors find comfort in simplifying expectations, not lowering them, simplifying them. You don't need everything to go perfectly. You just need enough stability to breathe easily. You don't need certainty about every year ahead. You just need confidence in your ability to respond, and you already have that. As the years pass, worrying more about the future often becomes an invitation to slow down, to check in with yourself, to honor what you need now, not what you used to push through. This isn't decline, it's refinement. It's life asking you to live with intention rather than urgency. And when you accept that, something changes inside. The worry doesn't disappear, but it becomes quieter, more respectful, less demanding. You begin to trust that you can face what comes, not because you have all the answers, but because you've faced uncertainty before and found your way. You may notice moments of calm returning, moments where the future feels open again, just in a different way, less about achievement, more about presence. And in those moments, you might realize that worrying more didn't mean you were losing ground. It meant you were becoming more aware of what truly supports you. That awareness is not a burden. It's a form of care. So if you find yourself thinking ahead more than you used to, pause, not to judge the thought, not to fight it, just notice it. It may simply be your inner wisdom adjusting its focus. The future hasn't become heavier because you're weaker. It's become more meaningful because you're paying attention. And even with uncertainty, you are still here, still capable, still adapting. The road ahead doesn't need to be perfectly clear to be walkable. Sometimes it only needs to feel human. And tonight, or tomorrow, or in the quiet moments between tasks, when your mind drifts forward again, remember this. You're not worrying because something is wrong. You are noticing because your life matters to you. And that awareness, held gently, can become a source of calm rather than concern.